Hey, Cock. Welcome back. We're going to do our championship review of the midweek games. There were all 12 full fixture list on Tuesday and Wednesday. First up, what better place to start, honestly? Birmingham 4, Millwall 0. That is back-to-back 4-0 wins for Birmingham now, and a 1-0 win away at Preston not too long ago. They had a loss in the middle of it, but it's now 3 wins in 4 games with 9 goals scored and 3 clean sheets. And I'm going to tell you exactly why before I talk about Millwall. That 11, you might have seen my TikTok on it, but that 11 is unchanged. I do not know how many times that has happened before. I'm not going to go and check every single one, obviously. But I don't know how many times Davis hasn't changed a full 11, apart from this one going into previously the 4-0 win against Portsmouth week before. Now, I think that helps mainly from a defensive point of view. But also, I do think that Davis now knows his best team. He's got Doyle in there. He's got Gray in there. Roberts is really, really good. The only one that I would look at from outside and think I'm very surprised that he's not starting is Kyogo. But I guess someone like that off bench, when you've got... I guess you can only have him or Stansfield, really, with the type of player that they are. And obviously, this Duck fella stood up front, a bit more physical in it, and he's maybe more suited to Championship, I guess you could say. But to have someone like Kyogo coming off bench is just outstanding, really. Same as Asai Samuel and all, and Lewis Koumas and Ryan Leonard. A lot of the bench is just crazy. Someone like Cashin who can't even get a look in a minute. But going back to it, the defensive side of things, I always got told when I was growing up that the best teams didn't change the back four. We're always same team, and my dad always used to reference Arsenal one. Obviously, my generation or younger that's watching this, I do have quite a range of demographics, so if you've got a Zimmer frame, then just bear with me a minute. But a lot of my age range has obviously seen it where everybody's got like 5 subs, and then it's gone to 7, and you can bring more subs on now. It's just ridiculous, really, the amount of squad depth that teams have got. Teams used to have 1 sub. You play with the same 11 all the time. And Birmingham, I think now, have found what is the best team. I don't know what were going on when Jack Robinson were playing, because he's the 4th best centre-back. Cashin's miles better than him. And Clara's obviously going to be one of the best in this division anyway. I said that when he first come up. He's a monster. But this Phil Newman, I don't know what had gone on from a arguments perspective. I mean, they had a bust up in training. There were reports, something stupid like that. But that's your best back four. Done. Don't change it. Millwall looked crap. I watched odd bit of this, and obviously my mate's a Millwall fan, so I got low down on it. Millwall look crap. They've got so many injuries. It's genuinely obscene, the amount of like first team starting 11 injuries that they've got. But I think the main highlight at the minute is that this fella's not really pulling any trees up after being one of the best strikers in Championship last season. Slightly worrying. But also the form just had to end at some point, Millwall. They've been really good recently. 2 apiece away at Oxford. We've got Gary Rowett, and then Birmingham away. Oh, now, I do think this is one of the hardest fixtures in the division anyway. But now that Birmingham look like they've clicked, this is... just be thankful that it's gone now, and you don't have to think, oh God, in a couple of months we've got Birmingham away, it's a guaranteed loss, because I do think that is what a lot of teams will be looking at soon. Millwall obviously still in top 6, and I think they've got a fair crack at it this time compared to previous years. But Birmingham, we're looking at them and thinking, they're not even done yet. Like, such a poor side, you expect so much more from them. They're 6 points off second. So the bar for Birmingham is set very, very high this season, and if it's not top 6, I'll be very surprised. I'll be done again. Another one that I did a TikTok on straight after, the ex-Barnsley man's derby, Bristol City with Struber and Blackburn with Ismail. Oh man, Blackburn, honestly, I've said that they'll lose last 3 games. Then my prediction video, win-win-win. Slightly concerning for Bristol City, but not really, because again, the squad depth's just non-existent at the minute in middle of park. They've got so many injuries again. Obviously, across the full season, I do actually quite fancy a top 6 finish. They do look a very good side in what is quite a weak league. But matching them up, man for man, even with the obvious midfield issues, like he's not even a midfielder, he's into defender. He's sat in middle at park. Man for man, Bristol City's side, I don't even think is that cracking. I think it's a middle at road 11 and squad really, but Struber's doing a very good job. Blackburn's squad is bottom 3 tackle. 100%, twice on Sundays. That is one of the worst Championship 11s this season, definitely. And Ismail has made them win 3 games in a row, and they've now pulled away from safety a little bit, up to 18th. Certain managers, I said this on a TikTok as well, certain managers are made for the current situation that Blackburn are in. Ismail has been at Barnsley, West Brom, Watford and Blackburn, and he's succeeded, or is succeeding, at the 2 with the lowest budgets and massive ownership problems and teams that won't spend. If he keeps Blackburn up, I think it's a resounding success. He obviously got Barnsley to Championship playoffs. You go to West Brom and Watford, teams with a lot more money and a lot higher expectation. Obviously, Blackburn are a huge side, but financially, they're nowhere near what you'd expect for anybody to even be challenging with the problems with ownership and they're not spending and stuff like that. But he has succeeded, or is succeeding so far, at 2 lesser sides in comparison to the big ones that have got much higher needs. He's a great manager, Ismail. I absolutely love the boy. I love both these fellas, to be fair. I know they've both left us, Struber and Ismail, but both these gaffers, what they did for us, I love them both. So I wish nothing but the best for these two sides. But what a win and what a run of form this is for Blackburn. To have played 3 difficult games. I know Southampton have sacked the manager since, Leicester in poor form. But 2 squads worth hundreds of millions and a playoff side last season. Win, win, win. Only 1 goal conceded. Absolutely astute from Blackburn. Really good form recently. Charlton 1, West Brom 0, and a 36-minute penalty missed. They obviously went at 95th minute and scored from Sonny Carey. It was straight at keeper if memory serves, and I don't know how it's gone in. But regardless, Ryan Mason, buddy, you're gone. He cannot last much longer. What are we doing here? You know, in transfer window, now we're looking at it and thinking, aside like West Brom, since they've come down from Premier League, they've been financially in hell, haven't they, really? They've had so many different problems, not being able to spend as much money as they should be, really. The size of what West Brom are, they're easily one of the biggest clubs in this division, one of the biggest attendances, biggest turnover, everything, stature. West Brom are one of the big dogs in this league. But since they've come down, they've been picking up a lot of free transfers and players on like cheaper fees to save money. Now this summer, they've actually gone for it a little bit and spent some brass. And if anything, the worse. They are down in 15th. 15th position. And a lot of it's tight anyway, and you could see it from, honestly, playoffs all the way down to maybe Oxford. It's 10 points, it's early in season, there's not a lot separating them. But with West Brom, you definitely expect that number to be a lot higher. Goals scored, definite problem, and really quite a big issue. Oh, big issue, please. Really quite a big issue that you've got somebody like Madja and Hegebo, and he's not found a way to make them work both together. I think Ryan Mason, to be honest, should stick to Andy Cohn's art. I don't think he's a manager. And a lot of these new gen gaffers that have been like spawning in recently at last like couple of windows, a lot of them aren't up to it, and I think Ryan Mason is one of them. I do think he will be gone quite quickly. I mean, I'm going to have a look at the games quickly. Oxford at home. I honestly think if you don't win that, you're gone, to be honest. You're gone, because Coventry away and Birmingham at home. 2 toughies. Really going for Charlton, though. Again, like, incredibly good form. Obviously, table the 6th anyway, but even if you look at it across any game span, last 15 the 6th, last 10 the 2nd in division, last 5 the 4th, they're not losing games. That's just the main thing. They've lost 3, but you're looking, honestly, weeks ago now, they were once against Preston there, and I said this, I feel like every week on these vids, they are not losing games. They're always in them, don't concede many. Nathan Jones to a T. They're playing the exact same style that they did in League One, in Championship, just with better players, and that's exactly how everybody should handle that step up if you're playing quite a pragmatic style that Charlton are doing. What a manager, again, and a bit of chalk and cheese, really, between dugouts there, and that's why they've won. What a win for Charlton. Derby 2-1, Will. I didn't see this coming. I really did not see this coming. Especially because I think its second half will really put it on him. A lot of Derby's goals are set-piece based. I think it's fair to say that they're very direct. There's not a lot of passing going on, and I like that, to be honest, especially for a side. When it's proven it's sent to work, when you won 4 in a row, I ain't got no problem with it like that. Do you know what I mean? Whatever style you want to play, if it's getting results like this, mate, you carry on doing it. And for a side that were looking over the shoulder not too long ago, 2 points off playoffs now, 3 points off playoffs even. Like, it just shows how quick a good run can propel you up division so early. I don't think there's anything to worry about from a Hull perspective, because on a regular basis, they create so much from open play. So much. Obviously, away at someone like Derby, I thought they'd win. I'm not going to try and rewrite history here. I thought they'd win this game. But Derby in recent weeks have been very defensively solid. Before all come, it's only 1 goal conceded in 3 games. They've not conceded more than once going all the way back to here. So they've got it really locked down at back. And I'm going to say it again. I do not rate that defensive lineup apart from Langas. I think Sanderson and Clark are okay. Bottom standard Championship defenders, if I'm being real. That Langas is top draw. But as a collective, middle at road, the Championship defence. But I think Eustace really got him going now. And also, Car 9, let's address this fella. I know everybody's going to have seen that he got an hat-trick against Sheffield United, right? I'd assume that people have seen that. Where do you think he is on the top goal scorers list so far this season? Carlton Morris. Well, a lot of people were writing off. I wasn't, by the way. I just want to put that one out there. I've seen this man in the flesh many a time for Barnsley. Bagsman. For Luton. Bagsman. Everywhere he's gone since he left Norwich, because he was going around on loans earlier in his career, until Barnsley gave the man a home. Since then, the clubs that he's been at, goals. Certified goals. Where do you think he is? Lock your answers in now. 3, 2, 1. Second in the division for top goal scorers. 9 goals. What a striker, man. He's just exactly what you need. A bit of a bruiser, can alt game up, brings everybody else into play, knows where net is, can do it with both feet, good in air. Absolutely. Just the perfect blueprint of a striker in this league. Rate player. I can't believe this shit anymore. Ipswich 1, Watford 1. Every week, you pretending you're a nice guy. Who is this guy? What? Look at that return. But right, the blue rating symbolises that he's been man at match. Yeah. This guy is Watford. I'm going to be really honest with you right now in what my opinion is. I think Loser is Watford's best defender, best midfielder, and best striker. Honestly, stick him in net, I think he'd do a job. This is one of the best footballers in this league, hands down. Yes, that's a tap-in, but the manner of which he's scoring goals on such a regular basis. For someone, he's not a 10. Do you know what I mean? He's not someone that stood up last night. He's not like a Hamer or someone like that. Someone that's primary job is to get in final third and create things and make stuff happen. That's not what Loser is. He's everywhere. It's a box-to-box. He's an old-school Gerrard. And he's putting up numbers like this. What a midfielder. What a player. Jury's out now on Watford. They're obviously not going to be anywhere near a relegation battle. If anything, I'm going full circle and I think these have got a chance at top 6. With someone like him, obviously they will have trouble in January, I think. Watford, not a big club specifically, but have got some brass, obviously the London aspect and all that jazz football, modern football, wank. But I could definitely see a Premier League side or maybe like a Serie A team or something coming in from in Jan. It's just whether Watford can keep him. And he's got 2 years left on his contract. Yeah, I think Watford are looking at least doubling the money, at the very, very least, if he's to leave anywhere. And if they're in decent nick in January, someone like Watford, you'd expect him to spend some brass anyway. But what a player. Bigger picture, obviously, Ipswich should have won, but I feel like this is a story for a lot of the season so far. They've not been clinical enough. They have won the last couple of games before this, but this should have been another 3 points. Slightly worrying that there's just... They're not putting a run together like Stoke up here, or in recent weeks, someone like Birmingham now, you can see with the confidence and the manner that they win the games, they're going to start putting some together. Ipswich are scaring me a little bit. Like, obviously, they won that 4-1, but it was flattering. 1-0 against West Brom. Only 1 goal scored at home to Watford. They lost at home to Charlton. They got hammered at home to Charlton. They lost to Middlesbrough. They're not consistent enough. I do think across the full season, they're definitely up there, 100%, third at minimum. But I also think someone like Birmingham and Stoke and a lot of these other like smaller teams that nobody's really taking serious even now, they've got to start picking up some soon. We can't just keep saying it's going to come for Ipswich. It's got to come quickly or you're going to be too far behind. Leicester 1, Middlesbrough 1. I'm going to claim this is a win, even though I said 0-0. I'm claiming this is a win. 17 shots for Middlesbrough. The work better side by the looks of it. Again, a clear lack of any sort of talent or rhythm or patterns of play in final third for Leicester. It's either a screamer or a penalty. That has just been quite a consistent theme from so far this season. And to be fair, this is very consistent for Middlesbrough as well. Because they're creating okay chances in a lot of the games, but aren't clinical enough at top end. 17 goals in 14 games that they're on so far for a side that's in third and not winning 3 games. I expect a bit more from Middlesbrough. Now, obviously I'm going to shift goalposts here because I didn't think they'd do all before the season started. Now I think they could, based on the standard at league itself and standard of some of Middlesbrough's players and what Rob Edwards has got him doing early on in his tenure there. It's a good point in grand scheme of things, isn't it? Away at Leicester, just when you say it like that, it's away at Leicester. You expect to get hammered, so to get a draw ain't bad. But when you've got stats to look like that and you're playing Leicester in form that they're in at minute, which is really shit, and 1 win in that many games, I think Middlesbrough be kicking them, really. Like, it's a decent point, yeah, but they could have had more. Holy moly, baby. Oxford 0, Stoke 3. There's a couple sides that... I'm going to speak about the negatives first because I'm going to cash some in with Stoke me. I'm going to speak about negatives first. There's a couple sides that are in and around it down at bottom that at this moment in time I am now worrying about, and that is both of these two, Oxford and Pompey. They are scaring me a little bit with the standard of some of the other sides in and around there that you just sort of expect to get out of it. They are worrying me a minute. Oxford just aren't defensively, and it's something that you'd never say about Gary Rowett, and some of the defenders that Oxford have got are like half decent, but they're just not compact enough, and it's very odd to say that about a Gary Rowett side. But anyway, not to take it away from Stoke, because I'm cashing it in again, baby. I've been saying for the longest that Stoke are going to start putting some teams to sword. They're going to start scoring a lot of goals. They put 5 past Bristol City. They put 3 past Oxford. Mate, good side. Again, same stats as always. Look at these stats. Look at them in detail, right? 14 shots, yeah? That is not a lot. 14 shots into a lot. For an away side, maybe it's okay. Yeah, you've won 3-0. But to score 3 goals of 14 shots, you must have been quite clinical, really. Some sides are having 20 shots a game and scoring once. Ipswich, for example. But out of them 14 shots, 6 are on target. That's not that bad. But the main stat here, 4 big chances from 6 shots on target. They are not just having pop shots from edge at box. They are working it well, and the chances that Stoke do get are ones, I said it last week, the chances that Stoke get are ones that you sit there and think, you could probably score that. It's not 30-yarder. It's not Leicester. Stoke create a high amount of very good chances. 10 rating. Bloody hell. Yeah, really good win for Stoke. Oxford, I'm starting to worry for them a little bit. Cov 3, Sheffield United 1. Ding, ding, ding. Set pieces there. Bloody hell. I love it. I love it. And then, oh no. Cooper goes down injured. Here he comes. Ex-Wednesday, ex-Barnsley. Hell yeah. Adam Davis comes on to seal the deal. What's his match rating, by the way? I haven't looked at this, I swear on my life. I'm excited to see what his match rating is. To come on at half-time and concede 3 goals. Oh, man. Starch, as you'd expect. I think the first half it was quite even, but second, they've just really put it on Coventry a bit more. Some good, unselfish forward play. And I think Hadji Wright slid it across for Thomas Stanton for 1 at goals. Obviously, Bobby Thomas scored, who Sheffield United wanted in summer. Barnsley boys at back doing it. Yet not overly surprised, to be honest. There's not a lot to really dive into here, apart from the fact that Sheffield United are absolutely god-awful. And have been since March, to be honest. This isn't a new thing. Sheffield United can't just expect Chris Wilder to come in and immediately snap his fingers and then you get to a playoff final again. Maybe they should go back for Chris Wilder. You know, because obviously they sacked him and that was the only reason that they were crap and there were no underlying stats or anything that suggests that Sheffield United weren't actually that good anyway last season. Obviously Wilder's best manager ever. So if they go and get Wilder back, they'll just start winning every game again, won't they? What the hell? That's absolutely crazy. Where are they in division? Oh. This is, I'll tell you what. For all the pain and suffering that Barnsley caused me, at least I can have a laugh here. Yeah, Coventry though. Maybe people thought, oh, a little bit of a blip there. They've lost the game. They're going to start sliding. No, these are best side in division. These are your league winners. Preston 2, Swansea 1. Again, not surprising. Screamer. Absolute thunder bastardo from Thierry Small. What a signing he's proved to be and all. On a free. Surprised there weren't other sides going after him that could offer a bit more brass than Preston. But really good signing. To be fair, that's decent and all because we were wrestling with defender all the way. Just shrugged him off and slotted it. Just, again, a nasty striker, what you need in this division from Preston. And then a late consolation here for Swansea. This isn't really filling me with much confidence, though. I was impressed with Swansea away at Charlton, even though they only drew. But, you know, again, we state that a lot of this division's in, and especially down at bottom. I know I've just joked about Sheffield United, but Sheffield United, Norwich, Southampton, you expect to be out of it. I don't know about Swansea, you know. Like I thought they'd be a lot better than what they would be, because the signings and the transfer window is top draw, one at best, I would say. And I don't think they're consistent enough or exciting enough to warrant the severe lack of any real consistency that Swansea are sort of getting at a minute. And I saw someone on Twitter, a Swansea fan, saying that it's just another season where they're going to finish mid-table in Championship and just like, you know what I mean? There's not going to be a lot going on. The league's crap and you're not taking advantage of it. I'm not overly convinced that these are 100% safe as of right now. I think they'll probably be okay, but I don't think it's just like, oh yeah, we're going to finish 14th and that'll do. I think these could be in a little bit of a slog. How clinical that Vipotnik were to start with, which it were right at the very start when he was scoring consistently for fun, but they've dried up a lot in recent weeks, and there's nobody else really from a Swansea perspective that looks like they're that cracking in front of goal anyway. I don't think that's harsh. Obviously, Adam Ida's in as well. He scored a nice goal away at Charlton, but they're not scoring from enough different positions for me, Swansea. And it's a bit like West Brom last season, where only 1 or 2 positions could score a goal, and the rest weren't doing anything. But this is on a much lesser scale than what West Brom were last season. We're a much worse side and much worse players. And with, again, the standard at the bottom of this division and the teams and the money that these lot could spend, some of them, if it comes to it, they're helped by this. But I don't think Swansea are high and dry just yet, to be honest. I think there's a lot of graft to be done, and I won't be surprised to see Sheehan really put under some pressure by Swansea fans in the next couple of weeks if they don't start winning it quickly. QPR 1, Southampton 2. Again, I'm not surprised at all. This never fails to amaze me. Like Southampton, speaking on the underlying stats and numbers, which I'm not a big fan on anyway, but I do think that eventually they will catch up with stuff like that. Southampton were dominating a lot of games. They just weren't getting look at draw, and I think will be a good gaffer. But ultimately, I think the players have let him down. So as soon as he gets sacked, it's an absolute nailed-on given that they're going to win game. This was 100% happening. There were no way where Southampton weren't winning against QPR. And QPR did really put it on towards the back end. They really put it on. That was a top finish, that, by the way, from that Robinson. He looks a good player. Another one of Southampton's Fantastic academy coming through. Surprised Woods in team after antics the last couple of weeks. Bazunu were really good late on. Obviously, Kone is on bench as well. It could be a bit of an headache for QPR Gaffer, you know. With some of the attacking talent that they've got, somebody like Dembele, Kone, Barrel, Chair, this fella on wing, I like him and all. A lot of good players there. Might be a bit of an headache trying to fit them all in or pick his best 11, but ultimately you can't have this fella on bench. I'm not bothered about what his recent performances have been saying. He will get you minimum 15 goals if you're starting him every week. And for someone like QPR, whose goals haven't really been flowing too much recently, there've been a lot going in their own net though, I think you can't afford to piss about with your best striker. Just get him up pitch. That's all I'd say. I don't know who Southampton's gaffer will be that's going to be coming in. But, yeah, you can't really blame him for sacking Will Still, can you, regardless of stats? This is the only ones that actually matter, what it says here. But I expect Southampton to start going on a run soon, honestly. I think they're obviously down and around here at a minute, aren't they? Down here. But you look at Derby, they won 4 in a row and they've just flung themselves away from it. Southampton will be up in here by start of December. They'll be top half. Wednesday 1, Norwich 1. I can't wait till this guy has retired so that I can say he's a good footballer. But until then, this Oompa Loompa, Wurzel Gummidge looking ass is the shittest footballer I've ever seen. Very unselfish from Sargent to slide it across to Garden Centre. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that fella's name. But he's got to be sacked. He's got to go, blood. He's got to go, blood. There's no way that Norwich can keep this guy. Look at it. This is literally worse form than Wednesday's. How? How is he still in a job? Norwich are going to get relegated if they keep Manning. Let's keep it serious right now. Norwich are going down if they keep Manning all season. Manning's a good manager. I know it's hard to understand that when his current side's 22nd in division with money that Norwich have got. But Manning is a good manager. He proved it last season at Bristol City. He's just not a good fit for Norwich. You've got to sack him now. You've got to sack him now. There is no excuse for not winning away at Wednesday. And I think, to be honest, anybody that drops points against Wednesday anyway should have a meeting day after with board. But one thing that we can all agree on, right, regardless if you don't think that Norwich should sack Manning or whatever, one thing we can all agree on is that Wednesday are going down. So enjoy your point. And them golden elephants still outside front door and all. You set it. And then Portsmouth 0, Wrexham 0, don't care. Okay, so we'll look at the table. Wednesday and Sheffield United, bottom 2. Norwich is still in there, made up of Oxford, Portsmouth and Southampton as the rest of the bottom feeders at minute, but Southampton will be out of there in no time. Looking further up table, West Brom 15th, Leicester 13th. I think their gaffers are going to be getting 1,000-yard stare from their owners soon because that ain't good. And there's still a top 9 of no parachute payments. It's lovely to see Birmingham, Hull and Bristol City outside at playoffs. I think Birmingham will get in there soon. But Charlton, Millwall, Preston and Middlesbrough make up the playoffs with Stoke in second and Coventry still top of the league. And that's that. Absolute pleasure, boys. Kiss. Love you all. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe if you do enjoy it, and I'll see you in a bit. Goodbye.
I say I'm a man. Yes, I'm a mucker. I think of me saying as a right good looker. I say up that. Show us bit it.